our work right now on the planet is to bring honoring and sanctity to the invisible just as much as the visible. The invisible results are things like feeling good, things like feeling connected, things like our health, our well-being, a feeling of joy, pleasure.
Embodiment can't be faked. Once you're in an open state where you actually can see through a clear lens, you're not clouded by fear, you're not clouded by the amygdala, you're not clouded by society's news and all the fear-based stuff, and you're just with you. Then you get to decide where you think we actually are.
Energy is information. We're here to experience the full spectrum.
That worthiness is hard for you. There's nothing wrong with you. It is a muscle that we kind of have to learn how to access. You are not disempowered, and you have power in every area of your life all the time.
I believe that chronic illness is an opportunity for us to heal.
Health, it's a choice. Listening to your body if you so choose.
My prayer for the world would be that they would know the infinite love of God.
Aloha and welcome to the Body and Soul Wisdom Podcast, formerly known as the Embodied Healing Self Podcast, with your host, jenmons. Join me each week for soul-inspired, conscious conversations around awakening to your soul purpose through 5-element well-being. Thank you so much for joining in. Aloha and welcome back to the Body and Soul Wisdom Podcast. This week is episode 182, Stop Investing in Your Busyness. So I am coming to you today after arriving home from a business retreat with one of my coaches. I have two coaches, and I was in Phoenix, and it was very warm and also kind of awesome. It was all the feels for me. I used to live in Phoenix, and it was the first time I had been back since I moved away, which was almost 16 years ago. And the special thing about this is that Phoenix is really the place of my rebirth. It's where my older daughter was born, which many of you know if you've been listening to the show or if you know anything about me, that I had a near-death experience with that in 2006. So it was the first time going back, and I woke up early in the morning and I hiked up one of the mountains, and I just had such this overwhelming sense of gratitude in how much my life has changed and how grateful I was to be alive and just to be where I was 16 years later. It was amazing. So I left there 16 years ago. My daughter was born when I was 28. I'm now 46. So it was really, that experience was 17 and a half years ago. But I didn't leave until 16 years ago. What I want to share with you today is something I got clarity on, and the words came through to me, and I thought to myself, somebody in my community needs to hear this. So this is for you if you're a businesswoman, if you're an entrepreneur. I mean, really, even if you're executive, if you're a mom, it doesn't really matter. I was thinking of entrepreneurs when I came up with this title, but I think it really applies to all of us, and it's stop investing in your busyness, aka your business. It's time to invest in yourself. But I think this message can apply to any woman who feels overwhelmed, overworked, underappreciated, undervalued, overstimulated. I think this is happening a lot in the world I live in. I hear it a lot. This is the women that I serve. Stuck in the kind of the minutia, the hustle, the grind, and busy. And it's like that message of like busyness does not mean you're important. I think that's another badge of honor that we wear, like empathy or success, is that we're busy, and that means we're important. So if I'm speaking specifically to entrepreneurs in this moment, I'm talking about noticing, if you're listening, and specifically if you're a female entrepreneur, which my work is attracting more and more entrepreneurs since the creation of my prosperity course, helping women to heal their relationship with money and just opening up so many avenues of streams of income that are possible. And it's happening inside of our course, and it's super, super awesome. I started out serving just purpose-driven, high-achieving women, which brought me executives and entrepreneurs. And now my prosperity course and soul wisdom mastery inner circle is really attracting a lot more entrepreneurs. So I think it's a mindset that, entrepreneurs have, in that what makes us different is we know how to fail. We have failed. We've been willing to fail. We have a lot of courage. We're very outside the box. We are very growth mindset oriented. We believe in possibility, and we're super creative. But here's the thing. I'm still finding that a lot of women in this space are super unhappy. They're overwhelmed. Even if they're making really great money, their marriage is falling apart, or their health is falling apart. And you can have all three of those if you're willing to shift from the inside out. And what I notice, because I have two coaches, I'm in two different coaching circles right now. I've had a business coach since 2018. I've had mentors and healers in my life all the time for 15 years. Not all the time. I take months off, or maybe even a year off sometimes, where I have a little bit of a break to let myself integrate, but I've always had support. But in the coaching circles that I've been in, I've noticed some of the people in the circle, and one of my coaches, we have men and women, my other coach is women only, experiencing a breakdown. Investing in a business coach and not getting the results because they haven't done the inner work. Investing in a relationship coach and not getting the results because you haven't done the inner work. Investing in a health coach and not getting the results because you're focused on the external result. Anytime we're focused on the external result, whether it's a number, I'm trying to lose this amount of weight, I'm trying to make this amount of money, I want this perfect guy in my life, and we're focused on that external result, and it's a really great distraction to keep us from the thing that we actually need to be doing, which is focusing on the inner work. Not a lot of people want to hear that, because that means self-responsibility and accountability and willingness and taking ownership of your experience with the willingness to change. So my message today is stop investing in your busyness, which you think is your business. And I am talking about entrepreneurs' business, but when you think about what is business, that also means what are you putting your energy into that really isn't any of your business, that isn't serving you? Because all you're really doing is avoiding the thing that you know that you need to do most. Your busyness is your greatest distraction. I have gotten some feedback lately that people love when I ask questions and journal prompts in my podcast, specifically my prosperity series, which you can catch November to December of 2022. I think it's around episodes 155 to 165, somewhere around there. Every episode has journaling prompts, and I've been receiving a lot of love messages that people love the journaling prompts. So I'm going to invite you to grab a journal and sit with, are you addicted to busyness? Are you investing in busyness by staying addicted to busyness? So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, exhale to release. So already notice how my voice and my invitation for you to pause and take a breath is showing up in your body. Do you feel frustrated, anxious, uncomfortable, or a big relief? Think about your daily life in this moment. What do you do when you wake up? What are the series of events that happen? Do you have a morning routine? Do you have a healthy morning routine? Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's meditation, journal, walk, exercise. Or do you get up right away and without even thinking, start hustling, start moving quickly, go to the bathroom, make breakfast, make the kids lunch, take a shower, get ready for work, get in the car, go to work? Like, what is your pace as soon as you wake up? Are you already in fight or flight? Are you already moving quickly? Are you able to pause and take a deep breath? Think about your daily routine. What is the morning like? How are you nourishing yourself? How are you feeding yourself? What is the middle of your day like? How do you feel when you get to work? Do you already feel behind? Whether you work from home for yourself or for someone else, what is that feeling when you step into that space of it's time to go to work? Do you feel open and ready in the flow? Are you strategically planning, or do you already feel overwhelmed, tired, unmotivated, behind? And then think about your routine after work. Some of you are balancing family and work, kids, after school activities, dinner, exercise. What would happen if we got to a place where we lived each day in the moment rather than by the schedule? I mean, we've gotten to a place where we have to schedule our exercise, schedule our yoga, and we stay so committed to it because we think that's the right thing. But what if the right thing is actually just being in the flow and allowing it to come up? We're so in the flow that we just respond to what we need in that moment. The only way for us to get out of the cycle of busyness is to create stillness, to be with ourselves, to create space. Busyness is a distraction from the things that we want most. It's keeping some of you from relationships, time, loved ones, energy, health, opportunity. How cluttered is your calendar? How full is your credit card bill? How cluttered is your house, your closet? These are reflections of your energy. And energy loves clarity. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or tired, if you're not getting the results you want in your life, in your business, what would shift for you if you stopped investing in your busyness? If you're an entrepreneur, not getting the results you want in your business, and I know because this was me for many years, it's time to simplify to amplify. You need clarity. You need support to simplify. But it's time to do the inner work. Let your life and your business thrive from the inside out. That requires less external busyness. When you create the shift from the inside, everything around you begins to shift because it reflects you. Your success of what you get paid and how you get paid becomes easier. Opportunities show up. Aligned relationships, support, aligned action starts to show up. So the next time, specifically if you're an entrepreneur listening, and the next time you have the opportunity to invest in your business, ask yourself the question, what do I need? And what do I have to believe in order to create the results that I want. Do I need more things to do? I can tell you right now that I have a multiple six-figure business with a website that is outdated and needs to be rebranded. No nurture sequence. I do have a podcast, but my entire business is built off of trust and word of mouth because I choose it that way. If I want to go to the next level, maybe I'll invest the time and money to do the things that everyone around me or even coaches say that you have to do to have a successful coaching business. The only thing you have to do is connect with people and be authentic and have a really great product experience or program that gets good results. Because if you have that, people are going to share it with other people and you will have a thriving business. But you have to be the person, you have to become the person that people want to work with, that people trust. That's where it starts. It isn't in the strategy, it isn't in the systems. They do support you because they do create clarity, but that's not where it begins. Thank you for letting me share this today. I'd love to hear what you think. And I want to invite you to check out what we have happening right now in our circles. We have a Wellness, Wisdom, and Wealth event coming up in November. It is being released at the end of this month in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. And we have our Soul Wisdom, Energy, and Embodiment Mastery in her circle, inner circle, for the woman ready to thrive in both her life and her business. So if this episode speaks to you as a female entrepreneur or as a high-achieving woman who keeps putting her energy in all the wrong things and is not getting the results she wants in life in general, it shows up differently for all of us. You're not feeling valued at work, you're not getting the clients you want, you're not in that loving, supportive relationship that you want. Those are all reflections of an opportunity to shift something, because every relationship is a mirror back to us. Something that we get to look and lean into and get clear about what we really want. So if this speaks to you, we'll drop a link to connect with us. And I'd love to hear anyway, either way, what is coming through for you. Are you addicted to your busyness? Have you been guilty, as we all have, especially as entrepreneurs, of the endless cycle of investing in your business or your busyness, and maybe been afraid to actually look within? Create a shift from within, because your business is an expression of your soul. It is an expression of you. And so your business is reflecting back to you the mindset shifts, the beliefs that are inviting a shift, inviting change. Thank you so much. I look forward to sharing more with you on the podcast next week. I hope you have a wonderful day. Aloha.
The content of this podcast is to educate, inspire, and inform you of pathways to an embodied healing self. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice from your medical doctor, therapist, registered dietitian, or nutritionist for any questions you may have regarding your diagnosis or condition.
Friends, and thank you so much for joining again each week on the Body and Soul Wisdom podcast, formerly the Embodied Healing Self podcast. I am so deeply honored to share the space with you every week. I know that there are many other podcasts that you could be tuning into, and our community is expanding and growing more with each new episode.
I'd like to invite you to come on over to jenmons.com/tribe and receive some of the wonderful gifts that we have for you. A meditation bundle, energetic alignment, 5-element wealth, prosperity consciousness. We have a ton of different gifts available for you to enjoy. Now, we have one small favor to ask. In order for this podcast to get into the hearts and souls of like and light-minded people, we need your support. We would love your review and would love it if you'd head on over to jenmons.com/podcast to leave a review or leave one on iTunes so that we can continue to share the love beyond out into the world. Thank you so much again for joining in. We'll see you next week.